Namo Namaha Bhaktam Sarvesham Hartam Swagatam. Welcome back to the channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you're doing great. I'm also good. And moving ahead in our Learning Sanskrit through Gita series, today we'll be picking up the 68th shloka from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And see, in all the recent shlokas that we did, the main theme, the main teaching that Krishna wanted us to understand was how important it is to keep our senses under our control, to keep our senses in check so that they don't wander off in all the behind all these multitude of sense objects outside and within us. So he wanted the need for controlling senses, how important it is. So this was the central teaching of Krishna, because as he informed, only when our senses are in control, then only we can even hope to achieve a tranquil mind, that peace in the mind. And only a peaceful person is a happy person, is a joyous person. So all that we saw in the recent shlokas, and this particular shloka is just reaffirming that point. Okay, so context wise, we already understand what Krishna is trying to teach us. From Sanskrit point of view, what we can learn, we will see. So without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in today's video. Okay, so this is the shloka that we have today. Let me go through the shloka once. Tasmadyasya mahabaho nigrahitani sarvashah indriyanindriyarthebhyah tasya prajna pratisthita. Okay, so very quickly let us see what all sandhis we can spot in this shloka. This is the Mula shloka and this is the Padacheda, the Sandhi Vicheda version. So if we can see here, Tasmat and Yasya. So these are the two padas. And in the Mula shloka you see Tasmat Yasya. So instead of a ta, you have a dakara. What sandhi is this? So this is the Jashtva sandhi, due to which a consonant is changing into the third of its varga. So Tasmat becoming Tasmad. And then it is combining with the following ya, and we already know this. There's the plus ya. This is this letter that we have, dya. So tasmat yasya, tasmad yasya. This is due to Jashtva sandhi. Okay, and then if you move on, so you find another sandhi happening between these two padas, indriyani and indriyarthebhyah. See, this particular pada, indriyarthebhyah, this is a samast padam. Okay, and within this samast padam also we have two individual padas, indriya and artha. Artha changing into arthebhyah due to vibhakti use. But this is a samast padam and it also has two padas. And we already know that when within a samast padam also different pratipadikas they combine. So if there is a sandhi that is possible, so sandhi will happen. So indriya arthebhyah, this is becoming indriyarthebhyah. So that is the sandhi that is happening within this samast padam. But again, we are interested in the sandhis which are happening between the individual padas. So I am interested in sandhi happening between indriyani and indriyarthebhyah. What sandhi is this? So this is the normal savarna dirgha sandhi, due to which you have this indriyani indriyarthebhyah. Okay, both the is combining to get this dirgha e, indriyani indriyarthebhyah. Okay, and then between these two padas, indriyarthebhyah and tasya, here also a sandhi is happening. What sandhi is this? So the visarga is clearly changing into a sakara. So this is Sattva Sandhi. Okay, Visarga is being followed by a Khara Vyanjana, a hard letter. So Visarga is changing into Sakara. So this is Sattva Sandhi. Indriyarthebhyah tasya. This is joining as Indriyarthebhyas tasya. Okay, that is due to Sattva Sandhi. And again, all these Sandhi rules and the entire word by word breakdown of this shloka will be in the PDF sheet that you can download from the link in the description box. Now let us move on and start the decoding of the shloka. Okay, and see, by now we are already familiar with this line, Tasya Prajna Pratisthita, because this is the central theme around which all the recent shlokas were based. Tasya Prajna Pratisthita, that such a person's wisdom, such a person's buddhi is sthira. It is firm, it is well established. So Krishna's description of what kind of person's prajna is pratisthita, this was the central theme running all recent shlokas we covered. So this particular line we have decoded several times, so I'm not going to go into that again. Kasya prajna pratisthita. And the response is yasya. That yasya, one whose, so and so, tasya prajna pratisthita. So this is basically the structure of the shloka. And between this, we have the entire new information. All this tasya, prajna pratisthita, yasya, all these things we have already decoded so many times before. So let us directly move and see the main thing, the main content here. Okay, and to understand that exclusive content in this shloka, we have this kridanta nigrahitani. And nigrahitani means some things they are restrained. Okay, they are restrained. They are kept under check. That is this nigrahitani. Okay, this pada, this is a kridanta, and kridanta means a dhatu modified using a krit pratyay. What is the dhatu? So the dhatu here is graha dhatu. Graha dhatu means to seize, to obtain. That is that graha dhatu. But along with this upasarga ni, the meaning changes. With this upasarga ni, the meaning becomes to keep under check, to keep under control. That is the meaning it now gives. And when this combination is modified using ikta pratyaya, so the pratipadika we create is this. Nigrahita. And nigrahita will mean something that is kept under control, something that is restrained. Okay, so nigrahita, this basically means niyantrita. Okay, something that is controlled or restrained. Okay, that is the pada here. And since we are using this pratipadika for the word indriyani, so this is going to take the same vibhakti, vachana and gender form. So this indriyani, it is a napumsaklinga shabda. So this nigrahita, this will also take the napumsaklinga form. Then here this indriyani is in prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam. So this will also take the prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam rupa. So nigrahita in napumsaklinga, prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam becomes nigrahitani, meaning they are restrained, they are kept under control, kept under check. So that is what we are starting with. And immediately the question will be kani nigrahitani, and we already know the answer of this. Indriyani nigrahitani. Indriyani coming from the pratipadika Indriya. We have seen this pratipadika so many times before. Indriya is a napumsaklinga pratipadika. This is the prathama vibhakti bahuvachanam form. Indriya means sense. So Indriyani means bahuvachanam, senses. All are 5 sense faculties. Okay, so Indriyani nigrahitani. The senses are restrained. The senses are kept under control. And then we can also ask a question, Indriyani katham nigrahitani. How are they kept under control? Okay, in what way, in what fashion? And Krishna is saying, Indriyani sarvashaha nigrahitani. Sarvashaha is an indeclinable avyaya. Sarvashaha means wholly, from all sides, wholly, completely. That is that sarvashaha. So, Indriyani sarvashaha nigrahitani. Krishna is basically saying the senses are completely restrained. They are completely under control. Okay, and then if we move on, so the question is, kebhyaha. Kebhyaha, from what? The senses are restrained from what? And Krishna says, Indriyani indriyarthebhyaha sarvashaha nigrahitani. And indriyarthebhyaha, this is coming from the pratipadika indriyartha. See, indriyartha is again a samastapadam. Indriya means senses, they refer to senses, and artha means their vishaya. So the vishaya, the object of attention for senses. So indriyartha basically means sense objects. Okay, and we want to say that senses are completely restrained from the sense objects. So for this prayojana from, we will use Panchami Vibhakti, and from the sense objects, plurality of objects. So Panchami Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. Indriyartha in this Panchami Vibhakti Bahuvachanam becomes Indriyarthebhyaha. That is the form. And now the entire meaning becomes Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha Sarvashaha Nigrahitani. That the senses are completely restrained from the sense objects. Okay, so I hope all these words, all these padas are clear. And now if we see the entirety of the shloka, so again in the same line of what he said in the previous shloka about the importance of this self-control, about keeping the senses under control, in that same line Krishna is saying, Tasmat Mahabaho. Tasmat, you can take it as an avyayam, that means therefore. So Tasmat Mahabaho, therefore O mighty armed Arjuna, Yas Indriyani Indriyarthebhyaha Sarvasha Nigrahitani. One whose senses are completely restrained, are completely kept under check from the sense objects, tasya prajna pratisthita. Such a person's wisdom is steady. His buddhi is firm, well established. So that is the entire translation of the shloka. Okay, so pretty easy shloka to understand from Sanskrit point of view. And again, the message is also stark clear. Okay, this message has been repeated so many times before in the recent shlokas that we did. Again, Krishna is pointing out the same thing. Swami Chinmayananda ji points out very beautifully that the use of Mahabahu, mighty armed, is very appropriate here. Why? Because by addressing Arjuna as, oh mighty armed hero, he's giving him that even though you might be very strong, even though you might be very powerful, and you have mighty arms, so you can fight and destroy all the enemies outside you. Okay, you are powerful and strong indeed, but if you are not able to control your inner enemies, and what are the inner enemies? That sense is pulling you, that you are being guided by your senses, not by your viveka, not by your intelligence. So you might be mighty armed, But if you are not able to restrain your senses, if you are not able to control your senses, then you cannot hope for a peaceful and tranquil mind, and so for a joyous life. So to achieve that joy, to achieve that peacefulness, tranquility in mind, you have to control your senses. Okay, and again, there's this repetitive call for controlling the senses, for restraining the senses. It is in no way means that you have to deprive yourself from any kind of what you say for from perceiving this world. You don't have to deprive yourself from enjoying this life, but this enjoyment should be sensible. Okay, it should not be the senses guiding you, it should be your viveka, your intelligence guiding the senses. And with that thoughtful process, you can and you should enjoy the world, and you should perceive its plurality, its beauty, its diversity, everything. So it is in no way a call to completely kill your sense faculties or to stop enjoying your life. No, it is just a intelligent use of your senses. It is a vivek purna. Okay, it is a wise use of your senses. Okay, so that you guide them. It should not be the other way around. So that is what the call is. That is the same call that Krishna has spoken earlier also. He is repeating that same thing now. So that is the entire shloka. I hope all the words, all the padas, they were very clear. You have the PDF sheet in case I missed out anything. I'll now take leave. I'll meet you with another video, with another shloka. Until then, stay awesome, stay happy, keep learning Sanskrit. Vayam punah milamaha. Dhanyavad.